Well, good afternoon, everyone. As I was praying and reflecting on the Gospel for Mass today, I found myself thinking about the first house that Carrie and I bought in San Jose back in the early 90s. Because the first thing that I did when we moved into that house was that I put a lawn in the front yard. And I carefully prepared the soil, installed irrigation, and sowed the grass seed. And before long, the seed was sprouting, and I had the beginnings of a beautiful green lawn. But along with the grass seed, weeds also sprouted. And I wanted so badly to pull those weeds right away, but I knew if I did that, I would damage that fledgling lawn. And so I waited. I waited until the lawn was established before I did anything about those weeds. And this parable of the weeds among the wheat kind of reminded me of that lawn. Except I had it a lot easier than the sower in the parable. Because most of the weeds in my lawn were dandelions or clovers. They were easy to spot. But scholars tell us that the weeds in this parable were most likely bearded darnel, which looks exactly the same as wheat until it matures and the head appears. And by that time, the roots are intertwined, and you cannot remove one without killing the other. And I'm used to weeds that look like weeds. But the most dangerous weeds look exactly like the good plants that they're competing against. But my lawn really wasn't that big. It was pretty easy for me to maintain. And I used weed and feed, right? It would fertilize the grass and then choke off those weeds, even the ones I didn't notice. But Jesus tells us that the field in the parable is the whole world, right? And the sower is God, who sows only good seed, but the evil one is also sowing seed in the world. And often those seeds are obvious, like the dandelions and the clovers in my lawn. But you know what? A lot of times they are indistinguishable from the good seed, at least for a time. Jesus isn't simply trying to warn us about the dangers of weeds. He's also revealing to us the patience of God. God who refuses to tear up the whole field, but rather gives time and space for growth and conversion. And there are fields within the field. Like the church, for example, is a vast, beautiful field in which the divine sower has sown so much good seed. But we are painfully aware that the evil one has succeeded in sowing bad seed even in the church. And outside of the church, in our city, our state, our nation, good seed has been sown, a lot of good seed. But all you have to do is turn on the evening news to see evidence of the bad seed sown by the evil one. And the bad seed that makes the headlines is obvious, like the dandelions and clovers. But the seed that blends in, that pretends it is good seed, that's the dangerous seed to watch out for. Now, boy, I lost my train of thought all of a sudden. I really lost my train of thought. Must be the bad seed. And so the seed, the field is vast, right? And those of us who are living in this vast field, it's important for us to feed that good seed and do what we can to choke out the bad seed. Now, each of us has our own part of the field that we have custody of. And the divine sower has sown good seed in all of us. And yet the evil one never tires, never relents in trying to sow his bad seed. And so just as I use weed and feed on my lawn, we can all benefit from spiritual weed and feed in the field of our lives. Prayer, the Holy Mass, Holy Communion are those things that can nourish and strengthen that good seed the sower has sown in our lives. And regular confession can pull out those weeds that have managed to sprout, to bear root. And so today, as we gather in this sacred place to listen to God's holy word, to be nourished by the precious body and blood of Christ Jesus, let us resolve to use our spiritual reading feed. Prayer, Mass, Holy Communion, and confession. Because the divine sower will never stop tending the field in our hearts, but we also must tend that field with him. And so let us do all we can to nourish and strengthen that good seed he has planted in us and choke out the evil seed, the bad seed of the evil one.